And if you haven't noticed already, or you haven't seen my other videos before, my desk is no longer white. It's this wooden color. And, well, that's because I finally got my drafting desk from my parents' house that my dad built for me when I was like 6 or 7. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying to use that instead to protect my back and hopefully get some better perspective in drawings, but that's enough talking about that. This is episode 14 of 642 Things to Draw, so I don't wanna skip ahead. Okay, new one, just one prompt today. Alright, and it is a roller coaster. Awesome. Let's start sketching some ideas and figure out some new camera angles. Let's do it.
What's up, voiceover mode? So if you are new to my channel, first, welcome. Second, you probably don't know that this setup is very, very different from what it normally looks like. Normally I'm working on my white desk, but nope. This is my drafting table. I already talked about the beginning, so I won't talk about it too much longer, but I'm trying a couple different camera angles, so if you like the straight-on overhead shots, let me know. But you get to enjoy the process of me figuring out how to deal with my camera and this new setup, I guess. So for this prompt roller coaster, I thought about first a roller coaster shape, and then some roller coaster cars, but I didn't really want to do that because the cars aren't really the roller coaster. And then I thought about a roller coaster of emotions, which I really like the figurative idea of that one, but I don't know. I didn't feel like that would be terribly fair for this prompt, so instead I decided to try like a perspective idea where maybe there's a roller coaster where people leave out like this snake's mouth, like one of those interactive roller coaster cars, and that's kind of the idea I wanted to go with. Mostly, I just wanted your eye to travel throughout this piece of art that I was making, or this illustration I was making. So I wanted this nice perspective line that just made your eye move from the top and bottom of the piece. I think it worked out really well. But I don't know, that's just me, and it is my artwork, so I guess I'm gonna have to talk it up, right? So I know from this angle it is kind of hard to tell what I'm drawing, but as always in these prompts, I sketch off camera and then I line them or ink them on camera because the sketching process, I don't know. I can add that in videos if you guys want me to, but you'll have to let me know if you want that because I can't read your minds. I know, it's crazy. I'm sure if before you thought I could read your mind, you are quite surprised now because I can't. Yep, so as I'm lining this piece, I also kind of went off of the lines I had originally made because I didn't use a ruler when I sketched and thought it might be a good idea to use one while I was, lining it with permanent ink. So that is what I did with that because it looked a little bit nicer. It's not perfect or anything. I didn't measure anything out, but it just looks a lot better than the sketch lines, even though those kind of hang out in the background for a bit in this drawing. So for this piece, I just really wanted to do something that whenever you're looking at either the top or the bottom, there's different things to look at so your eye keeps moving. So at the top, I just have these roller coaster cars, and there's this group of people who are riding this roller coaster, and they all have different little facial expressions, and of course, because they're so tiny, I had to make them all stick figures, because why am I going to add all that detail into something so far away? I'm not, and I really like stick figures. Mostly I like stick figures because I feel like I can get some pretty expressive faces and some pretty basic body shapes so the expressions come off, the most instead of just what their stick figure bodies look like. What am I even trying to say? But yeah, I just like stick figures. That's why I put those up at the top. And yep, everyone's bald because they just can be in this world. They're gonna be bald. And of course, at the bottom, whenever they're riding this roller coaster, it looks like normal roller coaster, and then as you move down, you see, oh, what is that? Is that like a snake or dragon face? Like, I don't know, a dinosaur? That's so weird. Is that part of the roller coaster? Is this a character? Does this roller coaster transform into an animal? Or is it an animal that transforms into a roller coaster? What kind of transformer is this? Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to do some sort of weird idea, so it might be part of the ride. It might be an animal, and these people are in a lot of danger right now because the roller coaster is turning into a dinosaur. There's a lot of options here. So this sort of creature thing, I base it off like a long neck dinosaur, because when I think of a long neck dinosaur, they have like the long neck thing and then like hump on their back. And I thought that was the perfect shape for a roller coaster to turn into a dinosaur thing. So that was my plan, at least, or my idea. And it's been a really long time since I have used my Copic markers in one of these prompts, so I had to bring them back for this. And I wanted to make sure that there was enough contrast, even though your eye's supposed to move throughout the piece. I wanted it to be a little bit harder to see the dinosaur thing, the dinosaur face at first, because I wanted it to seem like, oh yeah, these people on a roller coaster is just one of those illustrations, people at a park. And then as you look a little closer, you're like, oh no, what's going on here? So I wanted to make sure there's enough contrast, and that's why I made the roller coaster car part of it red. And then I added all these greens towards the bottom of the piece. And the colors are definitely brighter towards the top, and then they get more muted and like not quite as saturated with color towards the bottom. Or I guess they're like darker in terms of saturation. I don't know the proper use of that word, I guess. I should probably look up that definition. But yeah, that's sort of my thought process throughout this prompt series. And as I'm going through this, if you see some camera angles change or it's a little bit more zoomed in or more zoomed out, that's because I'm still figuring this out. I will say I kind of wish it was a little bit easier for you to see some of the smaller details than it is currently, at least through this angle. But, you know, I'm trying new stuff. There's gonna be some good days and bad days, and this is one of the trial and error days with a bit more error than I had expected. But that's okay. So, if you can also tell here, I'm struggling a bit with these Copics. I haven't used them in a little bit, and apparently I forgot all of my skills on how to blend a background piece so it looks smooth, and so I am using the marker the most appropriately. Like, hey, you have a big space to fill in? Maybe use the chisel nib. No, you're too obsessed with that brush nib? Yeah, I love a brush nib and really should have used the chisel nib a lot more. But I figured it out later in the piece. Don't you worry. If you were worried about that, I figured it out. Lucky me. So another part that I want to talk about for this new camera angle video thing, I'm trying to figure out what a good tripod or camera pod, are they still called camera pods if they're not a tripod? You know, something to put my camera on. That's what I'm looking for, that can attach to a drafting desk. Because then I can do more overhead shots, or I can do like a double sort of camera angle shot with either my camera and my phone, which, I mean, I film with a camera that I had for a photography class that I took back in high school, so it's been almost a decade, or about a decade, actually. Yeah. It's been that long since I've had this camera, so it's, you know, it's okay quality. My phone probably has a better camera, but it doesn't have a lot of space, so that's why I don't use it often to film. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on some camera setup sort of things, like tripods or things I can clip onto my desk so I can film from overhead, let me know. And if you have recommendation on cameras, also let me know. I'm kind of thinking about a Canon T7i. It's like the Canon Rebel series. I know there's a newer one out, the 8, but that's too much money for me. And honestly, I think the 7 will work for what I need it to. Mostly I would like an autofocus because my camera doesn't do that and it's kind of annoying. But I don't know. If you guys have ideas and thoughts, let me know. I'm always down for learning more things. I love information. And yeah, looks like this is the end of this prompt. So hope you enjoyed these close-ups of these tiny little stick figure faces. And I hope you are here for the next one. I'll link the playlist below if you haven't seen the 13 previous prompts. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks so much for watching my video. See you in the next one. Bye! Do you want to see more shenanigans? Then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Oh, you want to see more shenanigans like right now? then check out these suggestions on your screen or head on over to my Instagram. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Check back soon for some more shenanigans. Bye!